Swish. Zoom. Peon. Oh, can you catch me? Can you even see me? As we start to do this movie review extravaganza.
Wait, where did he go?
Wait.
What was that red blur?
No, I missed him again.
I know.
Oh. Where'd he go?
No! Oh, I thought I saw him that time.
Oh, you can't see me.
Wait.
You know
What?
Slow down for you.
All right, slay. Yeah. Oh. Finger. There you go.
Zoom.
Put that finger up. Cut
Cut your leg back. Yeah, got the leg back.
Zoom. I have to slow it down for you so you can see me.
In the flesh, the Scarlet Speedster.
Oh, the red food. Oh, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the movie review extravaganza. We once again look stupid. At least I do.
Hey, that costume doesn't look so bad. Hey,
Nah.
You pull it off.
Oh, what's going on there?
What's going on?
What's up, Steve? Come here. Oh,
That's too bad Marcus isn't here. He has that Kid Flash costume.
I know. Oh, Pixie's she's a little dizzy. I had in my arms the whole time. She's like,
Little eyes rattling around.
huh? Whatever. Oh, yeah. So once again, we're getting dressed up in costume for these event films. What event film do we have tonight? I wonder.
It's gonna come to me. Just give me a chance.
Take your time. I got all night. Uh-oh. I just been in the future. I know what y'all think about this movie coming up. But you know what? I'm not going to tell y'all out there. No, not yet. Not yet. Of course, we're talking about, what some people are saying, or at least at one time they were, saying is the best comic book movie ever made. Nothing comes close. Why people, Tom Cruise, he took his time jumping out of planes and getting hit by cars to go to DC and Warner Brothers and say, I demand you, by the power of Scientology, I demand that you show me The Flash. And he came out and said, damn, you know what? That's Mission Impossible, don't even release it yet. Nothing can, it's not gonna match up to the goodness of The Flash. You know what, I quit, I'm done. Cease production. No movie's gonna top The Flash. James Gunn, look at James, poor James Gunn. He's like, why am I even trying? He saw The Flash. He said, you know something, what I'm doing, not even coming close. The Flash is DC. It is the ultimate DC movie right now. It's made me obsolete. It's just, it is, as people say, the best comic book movie ever. Why the hell do you need me anymore? Is it truly the best comic book movie ever made? Well, if Tom Cruise, James Gunn, and Twitter said so.
Twitter,
my friend.
You ain't say Twitter.
And on top of that, listen, it's got to be good if it brings Batman out of retirement. And we ain't talking about just any Batman. A lot of people say you ain't gonna see Michael Keaton no more. That's before he was asked to come back by The Flash. It's not any. He said, I think he actually said one time, he said, if The Flash ever asked me to come out retirement, I'm gonna do it. Lo and behold, it happened. Tell me another superhero that can make this happen. Nobody. Look, you see him like, look at that. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, sure, kid. Really? Yeah, man. I mean, Tom Cruise, James Gunn, Batman. I mean, Twitter? Supergirl? So my God. Oh, take my hand. Okay. I almost hurt you, but I bring too much. I mean, if they say it's the best comic book movie ever, then by God, it must be.
Then there's no reason for us to even review this.
All right. Then. Pew, see ya. No, you know what though? But people, believe it or not, there are some people that say, but what does Double Toasted have to say?
I think all those people are in this room right now.
No, it's the people that what they have to say to piss me off. That's the only reason why I'm sticking around to see what they have to say because I know they're gonna say something to make me mad. Ooh, get my comment section ready right here. Ooh. All right, well let's go ahead and explore this. Is this indeed the best comic book movie ever? And if not, does it even come close? Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for the highly anticipated The Flash, and we'll be back with our review.
I lost my parents.
Not this
That
again.
pain.
Turn around, they gone. Oh, well. Alfred! No.
Made me who I am.
I will help you fight Zod.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
No matter what we do, we're not going to be able to fix this.
Everybody fucking screaming.
I know, everybody said that. A lot of people want to do that to him right now. Yeah, Ezra Miller.
We're not going to be able to fix this.
So, is this the best superhero movie ever, as many have claimed it to be? We're going to examine that right now. And by the way, all speaking for ourselves. Like I said, I've seen the future. I know what these guys think. I'm not going to spoil it for you. So I'm just going to act like I don't know. So again, all of us have our own opinions, but let me just say this as we get into it. As far as the movie goes, I think that this movie works best when it's a comedy. It's because the reason why is because it's a Back to the Future movie, man. It's a Back to the Future superhero movie. You know, there's a lot of time travel that's going on with this. And by the way, that is the synopsis of the film right there. You know, you have Barry Allen, the Flash, who, of course, like many superheroes, have suffered a tragedy in his life. His beloved mother was murdered, but he figures out one day that his super speed can not only travel back in time, but it could also open up different timelines. And, you know, in movies, when we do this, it's not as simple as we think. You know, we might do one good thing. We might bring back somebody that we love, but we also bring back some bad things too. You know, in the process, he has brought back villains that we thought were long gone. You know, Superman snapped this man's neck right here. Zod, even though he wasn't supposed to.
I know, right?
So that is a fix.
Yeah,
Superman's not a
so
murderer
hey,
now.
we brought him back. Superman was supposed to kill one of the most deadly aliens in the universe, but General Zod is back. But at the same time, as you can see here, bringing back all the death and destruction that we had from Man of Steel, he's also brought back a new super alien, Supergirl. And on top of that, hey, listen, that's not such a bad thing, or is it, with this particular super being that we have right here? We're still on the fence with her. But we've also brought back, hey, you know what? Brought back some good stuff too. Brought back Michael Keaton Batman. So, you know, some things work, some things don't. But no matter how much we love this Batman right here, no matter how much Barry loves his mother, no matter how much we bring back some good things, you can't change the past unless you bring back these bad things. And is Barry going to have to deal with that? He's going to have to deal with his mother being gone, or he's going to be a little selfish prick and just keep all the bad things so he can keep his mommy. Well, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get to this review. And as I said, this works better, I think, as a comedy. And I was mentioning Back to the Future because it is a Back to the Future superhero movie. A lot of time travel going on with this. And the best thing about this being you couldn't tell by this clip right here, it's very tragic. But the best thing about time travel and comedy is that when you have comedy mixed with time travel, you're too busy laughing to ask questions.
Sure.
Right, yeah.
You're too distracted to not notice the plot holes that are right in front of you.
As long as everybody's, acknowledging that there's paradoxes and laughing at the paradoxes, then you can just laugh along with it and not really think about it.
Exactly. It captures the spirit of Back to the Future. You have Ezra Miller pretty much as Marty McFly, and in a way you have Batman Michael Keaton, who sort of is Doc Brown.
I suppose so.
In a way. Consider them like the cool superhero versions of those two.
Yeah.
And plus they do just a lot of fun things with playing with time. Now, you don't have to worry about something like Barry Allen's mother, man, and things like that. We don't have that in this. But there are certain things and elements of Back to the Future that are in here, like a lot of funny things that happen when you're messing with certain parts of time and how it changes things with sometimes hilarious effect. Also, just like Back to the Future, having to time things just right, time certain events just right in order to set the future straight. You have the slight elements of Back to the Future in there, but still reminiscent of it, I think.
Plus they reference it enough.
They do.
In case you don't get it. They spend a good amount of time referencing Back to the Future.
That is true, brother. That is true. Also, I hate to say this, y'all. I dreaded going to see this movie because I didn't want to say it, because I thought I might end up saying it. And don't you hate me for saying it. And we're going to see how these guys feel about it. I'm going to pass it on to them right after I say this. But here goes. Ezra Miller's good. I'd even go as far as say he's very good.
I think he's great.
He's
great.
He carries the movie in playing two distinct characters.
He really does. He does a great job playing off himself. He really puts those pronouns they and them to work.
Right? You think you had pronoun trouble before.
Because they are literally they and them right now.
Yes.
And at first, it's great to see him playing off of himself because he gets to see just how annoying he is to everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they can't stand themselves. There's a couple of times where they want to beat the shit out themselves in here. I also think that they make a great team. Ezra Miller playing off of himself, they make a great team.
It's seamless.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
So. Again, I'm gonna pass it on you. Just give me a second here. They are the reason why they're at a different maturity level. You pretty much have one Ezra Miller playing the big brother to his annoying little brother.
Yeah, like a kid.
Like a kid. He's almost having to mentor his annoying little brother. And also, it's just an amazing special effect. I know we see all kind of CG ships and explosions and superhero, CG characters flying around, but seeing how these two are in the movie and how not only is it time right with them talking to each other, not only are they moving around all the time, but the camera's constantly moving around with them too.
You really forget. It's like their whole effects budget went mostly to getting that right. And it is the bulk of the movie. And the two of them, they have good chemistry. They make for a good comedy team. I was like, you know what? I don't need the superhero antics and any of the special effects. I just like having fun watching the two of them.
Like, man, I hate this dude in real life, but in the movie, oh my gosh, you see why DC was sticking with this guy. As he plays as the two Barry Allens, man, it just works. The chemistry between both is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it really is, man. See, like scenes like that where they're grabbing each other, and I mean, it seems like no big deal, but that's one of the hardest things to do with special effects is to make people realize it's not a special effect.
True.
It's to trick people into thinking they're not looking at a special effect. And the whole time, all the subtle movements. Never a moment where he they grabbed each other and the head looked off. So, I was floating everywhere.
Well, man, you remember back in the day when you watch a TV show and they're supposed to have two twins and one actor and they can never cross the screen.
Yeah, they could because it was a green screen. They could never touch each other because if they did, then you see the hand disappear.
There might not be a future.
Yeah, it's so convincing, man. I really think there were two people at one time, several times in the movie.
Too bad that's where the budget went.
Yeah, I know. We'll get into that. Yeah, it's an amazing effect, though, man. And they've been calling this Batman's movie. So I have to come in and just give credit where credit is due. Ezra Miller owns this film, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. As much as the trailers made it look like hey, it's a new Batman movie with a co-starring the Flash. It's all the Flash.
It's the Flash. Yeah,
like
Flash's story.
Batman doesn't come in Keaton doesn't come in until a long while.
Like the second act.
Yeah.
He gets in.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have Ezra Miller, but when you get 2 Ezra Millers in there, he owns this film, man. Michael Keaton in this. Michael Keaton is, everybody's been looking forward, of course, to Michael Keaton being in this movie, man. And we just showed you what Michael Keaton looked like here. Everybody was so happy with the lines from the original movie, let's get nuts and I'm Batman. And, just seeing him back again, because a lot of people didn't think they'd see him back again. And, now that he is back, I have to say that, is it something where people will be disappointed? Did they hype up too much his appearance in the movie? And I'm going to say no, man. I think it's actually, I'm glad that he came back because, especially now at this moment, we needed a CG Batman. We needed a suit with more flexibility in it, because because y'all remember that suit back in the day, man. I mean, forget trying to fight in it. Just try to look up was crazy. You try to look up,
bend from the waist.
Yeah, he had to bend from the waist and look up. He was about to break his back.
It was.
Yeah,
oh my God. He's about to loop over like a slinky.
That suit was gonna kill him, man.
Lay you back.
Yeah. That suit was about to make him paralyzed from the waist down. And don't get into the fight scenes. The only reason why he got to those fight scenes, the only reason why he looked good is because they just edited the hell out of him.
Yeah, they did.
He didn't beat up people in those fight scenes cutting. The editor won those fights for him. You can only see like a cut from an angle where you can't really see him move or a hand come into the shot.
Right, that was just some hand wearing a glove.
Yeah. Yeah, look at it.
Like somebody on the crew just put that glove on.
Yeah, that ain't Michael Keaton's hand.
No.
But you say that's one of the crew members.
That's an extra.
Yeah, that's probably the janitor that did. He truly is a badass Batman. Now, I don't know how you felt about it, because it is, some of it's helped by CG, some of it's helped by a better costume, but he gets to be like really Batman right now. He gets to do a lot more cool stuff. He gets the fight scenes are more fluid. They're not as stiff. They're more dynamic. You get full body shots now.
Yeah.
Also the punches are harder because, he doesn't have to punch like this. So, yeah, I think that he's great, man. And also, it's just further redemption for him, man. Because listen, I was one of those people. I can't blame everybody else out there when they mentioned that Beetlejuice was going to be playing Batman. Yeah. What'd you say at the time when they mentioned that?
I was like, kidding. I wasn't even thinking Beetlejuice. I was thinking that movie, that comedy Night Shift.
Yeah,
that Ron Howard directed. That's how I always thought of him. And then of course Beetlejuice. So this comedy guy's gonna be Batman.
Yeah, everybody
he's not big. He's not imposing.
No,
he looks nothing like Bruce Wayne. What is this?
He's not big. He's not imposing. He's been a goofy ass demon, and he's Mr. Mom. That's what everybody was saying back then. He's like Mr. Mom,
like multiplicity.
The bitch ass house husband. He's gonna be Batman. And there was so much hate back in the day, and Kevin King had to remind me how much of an asshole I was, because I was saying the same thing back in the day. I was like, there's no way. They're already messing up. This movie's gonna bomb. I was part of the crew that was saying there's no way Michael Keaton could play Batman.
Best known for roles like Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice, can pull off the part of the Caped Crusader.
I think that he's kind of a wimp.
Damn, look who's talking. They got this dude and Mr. Whipple.
Why'd they ask this dude?
I know. He's like, who the hell is Batman?
It don't seem that it's right,
But I don't think you guys are going to be making any trips back to Cerrito.
Well, all of us were wrong. I mean, isn't it amazing how that, we've gone from hating Michael Keaton to everybody loving him today?
Oh, it's always the cycle. Everybody hated Heath Ledger. He's gonna play the Joker.
Yeah.
And I was shocked when it happened with Daniel Craig. I was like, how many times y'all gotta go through this? You hate him until they do it, and then you love him.
And then even the new one, Robert Pattinson. The same way without him.
They sure did.
Yeah.
Twilight.
Be Batman.
Yeah.
And And I had another one I was about to bring up. Ben Affleck. People get upset. Batfleck.
Yeah, they sure did.
Ben Affleck is actually too good to play Batman. You lucky to get him.
That is true, man. And plus, he is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, I think Keaton's great in this, and everything you're saying is true. But when I watched it, I was like, you know what? Ben Affleck is actually giving me the most gravitas as a Bruce Wayne / Batman.
Yeah. Well, I like both of them because I think what you have here is like you have Ben Affleck, who's also made a small appearance in here. No spoilers, everybody knows it. But I will say this about this movie. One great thing that they did do is that if this is truly Ben Affleck's last role at playing Batman, it's a great way to go out.
Yeah, he nails it.
Yeah, he did.
I like how he's a mentor. To Barry Allen.
He's a mentor. He's his best friend.
Right.
So it's great and it's sad because it just feels like with this movie they finally got a grasp on that character.
I know. Now he's gone.
I was like, shit. I'm going to Jack in the Box. Yeah, they finally got a grasp on not only Batman, because he's a badass Batman in this, but Bruce Wayne and his connection with Barry Allen, man. Yeah. But Michael Keaton in this, not only do we get some good Batman scenes, but we also get some good Bruce Wayne scenes with him. And the reason why that's kind of cool is because he is a different Bruce Wayne than the Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne, but also, man, he still got that Michael Keaton charm that comes in with it.
He does. My regret is that they didn't spend more time with him when they find him.
Yeah.
It's like, you look like this. That's what you're into now. But it's like, well, let's move on because we gotta get going. I was like, dang, I'd really like to spend more time just developing this part.
Just sitting around eating pasta with Bruce Wayne.
While he teaches you about time travel.
And that's what I was talking about, where it feels like Doc Brown and Marty, because they are sitting around having conversations as Batman the Flash, but also as Barry Allen and Bruce Wayne. And he's talking about time travel to Barry Allen. And it does feel like a cool Doc Brown talking to Marty, man.
Yeah, I'm just like, you kind of that kid, I don't know what to tell you. I did like that.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell are you doing? Damn you kids, boy. You millennials with things. But besides the time travel that's in the movie, it's I will say that, and I mentioned this already, that this is functioning better for me as art. I think it's at its best when it's a comedy. And there are lots of really funny moments in this movie, man. And the reason why I like the comedy here is because, some of these are like one-liners, some of these are just funny sight gags, some of these are like physical comedy things going on. But a lot of the comedy is woven into the action, into the story. There's this one scene, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I'm just going to say there's a scene in this movie that involves a hospital, a lot of babies, and a dog, and it works together on so many levels. I think it's well thought out. It's such a creative piece of physical comedy. It's like the superhero version of those elaborate gags that guys would do in silent movies. I'm gonna nerd out on y'all a little bit because none of y'all gonna know the name I'm talking about, but like Buster Keaton or Harold Lloyd. Like those guys who did like these dangerous, crazy, elaborate sight gags, man. This is like the superhero version of that because, it's like a fun episode of a cartoon short or something. Because you can take it as its own little piece of action or comedy all its own, and it'll be impressive. But at the same time, it's something that works as a thrilling superhero rescue scene. Pretty much an old-fashioned rescue scene that you see in comic books.
Yeah.
That you expect from superhero properties.
It's fun. It sets the tone for the movie.
It really does. Yeah. It really does. And that whole opening sequence is done so well that when you say it sets the tone, like it sets the tone for how they sets up everything. Like from the titles when they introduce them, the title of the movie, to a nice setup for everything that's really great to come, except not all of it's great. I said, man, boy, the ride was nice while it lasted, man.
Yeah.
because there are a lot of great things in this movie, and it lasts for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, the chewing gum runs out of flavor.
Starts to get hard.
The chewing gum starts to get hard, or the Viagra wears off, and you're not hard anymore. You know, it just really starts to wear down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, and from that moment on, man, you know, throughout the movie, there's a lot of fun stuff. There's a lot of fun cameos. There's a lot of fun Easter eggs. There's good comedy. Hey, there's a lot of emotion in this, man. There's a lot of
it. Really is.
Yeah, I think this is the most emotional project they put out.
Yeah, for a DC movie.
Yeah, DC. Well, in the DCU.
Yeah. No, no, it really is, man. It really is. Like, you have Ron Livingston and Maribel Verdú, I think that's her name, as Barry Allen's mom and dad. And they're both very good, man. First of all, they're both very good at just being normal people in the movie. But they're also the very tragic part of the story. You know, and I like the actors. I also like how this story where it just centers around. There's a theme here. There's several themes here, but there's one theme that I really loved, and that's where it centers around how tragedy can be had from just one simple everyday object.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, it seems harmless, but you know, it takes on a whole different sort of symbolism in the film, and I liked it, man. And and the emotional parts of this movie, they actually work very well.
I thought so too. As a matter of fact, where my opinion of the movie was dipping, they got back to the emotional center. And I was like, you know what? All right, I'm raising my opinion on it because you're nailing this part.
Yeah. I was really
because you see a lot of these movies and it's a lot of fake sentimentality, or they lean on the like, well, it's about family and we're all a family. And I was like, thank God they're not doing that here.
No, they let the actions of the family speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so for this movie where it's a lot of superhero stuff going on, man, those pieces of story where they're just being a regular family actually works very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and believe me, when it kicks in, it's kind of upsetting, man. It's really, but for as funny as this movie is, I'm surprised that the tragedy works just as well for the little parts that it's in there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It's very effective, man. Shit, when I left, I needed some better help. Thank
some better segues.
Thank goodness that better help was there after I got out the Flash, man. For those times that moved me right there. This portion of the show, we have to give it up to our sponsor, BetterHelp.com. And let me just go ahead and talk to you about BetterHelp real quick, and then we'll get back into the Flash. You know what? Thing is, as I said, with therapy, everybody kind of puts off therapy, you know, for different reasons. Everybody thinks therapy is for severe mental illness, or, you know, black people don't get therapy. We heard this. Yeah. I'm black. I ain't got to talk to nobody. I just deal with it. but you know, also, you know, there's other things that are going on out there that you probably don't think you need therapy for. You don't know how busy your mind is sometimes. You know, you're disorganized. You're being run ragged at work, or you're trying to keep up with things too much. You're too busy trying to help everybody else, but not helping yourself. Some people looking at me like, you in that costume. You look like you need some help.
Why? I know that. This guy's doing all this.
You need the best help. Well, hey, man. Hey, listen. Well, take it from me. I know what I'm talking about there when I say you should try BetterHelp, because, listen, a lot of people out there, you take care of your bodies, you're always exercising. You don't understand that your mental health is just as important as your physical health. You need to take care of that too, like you would going to a gym. You don't have to have anything so severe happen, even though BetterHelp could probably help with that too. This cat needs some help.
Sure does.
I need help with this cat. You know, if you're feeling like you're stressed out, you need some organization in your life, you just need to talk to somebody, along with things that might be more severe, give BetterHelp a try. And the reason why is because therapy can provide you with the true tools to find balance in your life. The great thing about this, now, besides me telling you that it's good to get therapy, it's actually great to get therapy out there. This is one of the better ways to get it, because it's entirely online, which means that it's very convenient, flexible. You can make it suited to your schedule. You can have it any kind of way you want. Do you want video calls? You just want phone calls? If you decide to go with this, it's just as easy as filling out just a very brief questionnaire. You get that so you can be matched with the licensed therapist. And if that therapist isn't working out, you can easily switch to get another. No hard feelings on anybody's part. So I'm going to tell you what. They're telling you how easy it is to get therapy. And it's very easy to get it with BetterHelp.com. And like I said, no shame in getting therapy at all. Just talk to somebody. You'd be surprised how much it helps. But I'm going to make it easier for you than that, what I just told you, to get BetterHelp. See, what you need to do is go over to BetterHelp.com/doubletoasted, and you'll get 10% off your first month. So easy and so economical to go ahead and get into therapy with BetterHelp.com. So I want to thank BetterHelp.com for supporting this portion of the show, and I want to thank all the people out there for your support too. Where y'all at?
They're not supporting you, they're enabling you.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll be giving them a call very soon. Are you tired of acting like a damn fool in front of your fans? Are they enabling you to do that? Get BetterHelp.com. I've been talking about how much I enjoyed watching Ezra Miller, how much I enjoyed Michael Keaton in this. We were talking about, the tragedy in the movie too. But let me go back and show you just a little bit of some of these scenes where we have all of them together in the film, where you have Batman and, let me see here. You have Batman, you have the two Ezra Millers, and you have some of the lines that people are looking forward to in this movie the most.
I'm Batman.
Say
I'm
it.
so sick of saying it.
And the theater goes crazy.
Oh, they collapsed.
I'm Batman.
Oh, shit. That was every nerd.
Yeah, right.
So you can see that they're putting a lot of the Easter eggs in there that you love, but just making them look better sometimes. You have the Batjet, the Batmobile that we remember from the '89 movie. All these things that are in there, man, that make this movie a lot of fun. And I wish that it could have kept going. I wish that it could have kept the momentum up with that, man. But I'm gonna tell you, all this fun for me kind of came to a halt. Not completely. It didn't come to a grinding halt where I just ran into a wall, but it definitely slowed down when they had the introduction of Supergirl in this. It's a huge disappointment for me for many different reasons. One, I thought her introduction was kind of cool because she's introduced as like this lab experiment, or this prisoner that they're keeping to hopefully make a weapon out of. And you saw it in the trailer, and it's not. I'm not spoiling anything again. She's introduced as very weak, but when she's let loose, she's a monster, man.
She's terrifying.
She's kind of scary because once she goes out, she gets her powers back. She is unleashed, and it's this whole thing that we've always been scared of.
Well, yeah, because she wasn't raised on a farm in Kansas.
No,
hell no.
She don't know what killing is bad. I don't understand why.
Yeah, shit. She was raised in San Quentin or something. She's
in a Russian gulag.
Yeah, she was raised in a Russian gulag, man. So she's been a prisoner, kept in darkness this whole time. She's known nothing but cruelty. Mm-hmm. And so, she's kind of scary, man. And when she's scared, she's pissed off. And this plays on what our biggest fears of Superman was. Like you said, what if Superman was a dick?
Yeah. Like it kind of is in those movies.
Yeah. What if Superman wanted to be a dictator? He was power hungry. What if he was racist?
What if he was selfish? Yeah, racist.
Yeah, man. So I thought that this was a missed opportunity for them to actually explore that more. But see, here's the thing with her, man. She suits up. And by the way, we don't know where the suit came from. She just got to pull it out.
Grab that shit.
Well, I guess there's an explanation that she wasn't a baby. She was already grown and sent along with Clark or Kal-El to watch him and veered off course.
Yeah, we don't want to tell too much of people. Want to start talking about it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, the suit was probably packed with her.
It was already
okay. So
now why they left it right next to her?
She just had it, man. Somebody said this is canon, yeah. So, they didn't show her put it on or grab it or anything. She just had it on at one moment.
No. They showed him pick it up.
Oh, did they? Oh, that's what they picked up.
Yeah.
Why did they leave it next to her?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they set up things real quick for her, man. Yeah, there's the suit. She just grabs it real quick. You know, she quickly figures out what's going on with Zod, and she's like, all right, you know, let's go. I'll help you. Yeah, I'll help y'all out. You know, they went from, you know, how they're going to work with this mysterious creature that is pretty unstable to, all right, you know, let's just go ahead and get into it. And honestly, I wouldn't even mind that. I don't mind them kind of glossing over things just to get the story going, because the movie's already 2.5 hours long, and she's a character that comes in later. But that's the problem. She's introduced so late in the movie that she doesn't have that much time in the film.
Oh, she's very rushed.
So she doesn't have much time in the movie, and she's introduced like almost, you know, close to the 2-hour mark, you know, hour and a half. Her segment feels rushed. And because of that, they don't have any like development with her. You know, there's no details with her. The problem with that, again, is that she's just not that interesting to me.
Yeah. There's not much there to be interested in. And inherently, we know we're not in our dimension, our Earth. So whatever with her.
Yeah, that's the other thing, man. Yeah, it's just she has no personality in the movie.
At all.
She only has one thing: looking mad.
Yeah.
When you found me in that hole that they put me in, and I wasn't Kal-El, do you know what this symbol stands for?
Supergirl means hope, right?
Shut up.
Could you just
dummy?
Hope. Yeah, does it mean hope?
Yes. I will help you fight Zod.
You know that. Oh my God. Oh, y'all, look at it. I thought this is where it was a mistake not to have Henry Cavill.
Oh, I thought so too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I thought it was like finally a time for them to actually write Superman right, or Supergirl right. They didn't,
and it was so written for him to be there.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing against nothing. Okay, so nothing against the actress.
Yeah, nothing against her.
She's a good actress.
What's her name again?
Sasha
Calle. Sasha Calle, I think is her name. She's a good actress. That character is written very uninteresting, man.
Because we just meet her, so we need more time to really get to know her.
Right.
Whereas had it been Henry Cavill,
we already know her. Yeah, we good.
And plus, that would have been something against Zod. They would have had history. We wouldn't have to have nothing to fill in. Everybody would have cheered for having him. Why they got rid of him before he was able to come into this movie? Because that role would have been better suited for that Superman right there. So I don't know, man. You know, and let's just go ahead and get down to like what one of the biggest problems with the movie. And you will see this if you saw what we saw, that is. Because I'm hoping to God, I'm still holding out hope that that is not.
I know where you're going.
You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping to God that this is not the final version of what we saw.
Oh, it was.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, I've been assured that it was.
Oh, people, let me just come out and say, no, we just got through praising this movie for how great some of these scenes are with the two Ezra Millers. Incredible effect. But some of these effects are horrible. Not terrible, not bad, horrible.
PlayStation, and that's a new one.
Yeah. Some of the effects in this movie, they showing you the best ones in this trailer right here.
You can kind of see the bad ones in the trailer.
Yeah, I had people complaining about the effects in the trailer before we even got to it.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, but that's okay compared to what we saw, people. There are moments in here where the effects, it looks like, you know what they look like? They look like placeholder effects while the computer's still rendering something.
Right.
There are computer effects in here, renderings of people that look completely horrible. The eyes are soulless. They're not moving. Those babies I told you about at the beginning of the movie, they look dead.
Yeah, they did.
I don't even.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Flash, I don't even know why you're running around. It's too late.
Shit, they gone, man. These babies are dead. Listen, there's a whole section of Easter eggs in this movie where it's just,
Lord.
It was like, and the effects for those Easter eggs are bad. And plus, after watching something like Spider-Man Across the Universe, the way they just dump those things?
Boy, yeah, like they had their Easter eggs, and they were supposed to, the night before, they were supposed to place the eggs here and there, and whoever was supposed to do it didn't wake up, they forgot to do it. Just like, well, here you go, kid. And they took them all out, and they're so proud of them. Yeah. And yet, those are the worst effects. You're just kind of like, just stop.
They're terrible.
The thing is, like, the audience is gonna go crazy for them. But if you really think about it, it don't make sense.
I mean, they got you. You just trained to, like, when you see certain things, start cheering. But these Easter eggs they got, it was like they dumped in like they was slopping hogs, man. They just came out with a bucket up and just laid them down, and y'all like.
It's too bad because in concept, I was like, well, this is really cool. Yeah. I just wish it didn't look so fake.
It looks terrible.
It's horrible. And I'm going to tell you something, it's really bad the way they bring them out because they're all dumped out at one point. It's like they ran out of time and just said, here. Yeah. Here you go, kids. Yeah. Like I said, slopping hogs. This is like
supposed to hide those, man. I ain't have time. Look, they're picking them up. Everybody's having fun.
I was thinking, there's no way they saw that and I was like, okay, that'll work. That'll be fine.
I'm still going. I don't believe what I saw. I refuse to believe what I saw. That movie's not finished.
Not at all.
Not the one. Either we saw an unfinished product and you are going to see something better, or they didn't finish the movie. They just said we got to get this out at some point.
But I mean, the movie was delayed like a year, right?
I know. What were they doing?
Waiting on the computer to finish.
He said, "Oh, it's not finished."
Y'all must be working on Windows 10 or something. Because
what they chose to do, the Easter eggs they chose just made it all the more glaring.
It's bad, and y'all are going to cheer, but I'm going to tell y'all, man, don't be any suckers out there. Don't follow this mentality of just because they showing you something that, and it's a moment where you're supposed to cheer. You don't have to. You don't have to do shit. It's bad, okay? It's bad. And you're a sucker if you fall for it. It's just, it was kind of, like you said, in concept, it's cool. Yeah. But it looks terrible. It looks ugly. It's just, on the big screen too, it's just nasty.
It didn't look right.
It looked like when you go to see a DC movie, the opening. You know how their opening
looks? Yes, that's perfect. Yeah.
You're at least thinking, well, they're doing something new. Well, no, when they get to the Supergirl part of the movie, yes, she agrees. When they get to the Supergirl part of the movie, I hate to keep harping on her, but when they get to that part, then the movie starts it becomes a typical superhero action film. Nameless characters dying, are getting beaten up, generic explosions. It looks like the worst parts of Man of Steel.
It does.
It's a boring setting.
It's also just with, to harp on the effects. And normally I don't, because I'm like, hey man, effects are what they are. It's all about the story and all. But they use them a lot and you can't get around it. And like even down to, hey, General Zod's back. Not really Michael Shannon though. It looked like they just took footage from other films and put him and projected his face on there.
I don't understand why he's even back.
Well, that's him.
Else. Yeah, that's really him. Yeah, that's really, he even said he came back for that.
And he's actually in the suit.
That's really him.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's him. That's the actor.
There's a big story where he said, "I'm not coming back unless I get Zack Snyder's blessing." So that's
okay. Because not only does it not look like him, but he ain't really saying nothing.
I know he's doing nothing. Like to me, he was the best part of Man of Steel, and then to watch this, it's like, why y'all waste him like this?
But no, that's him. They didn't take any old shots at it. That's really him.
They completely wasted him.
Yeah, but that's because this whole part of this feels like the parts of Man of Steel where they were just beating each other up around the city, and there was no story going on. There was nothing really of any consequence. It feels like a very generic superhero movie for something that felt like a movie that DC had not done before. Because a large part of this movie does feel like a DC movie that unlike any other.
Yeah.
Now, the first half.
Yeah. Now that is why people are saying that this is probably the greatest superhero movie ever, because they're exaggerating. They are trying to say that this is, and I'm gonna speak for everybody. They're trying to say that this is probably the best DC movie that's out there. Right, and you know what? I would argue that it probably is.
Of the DCEU.
Or at least most of it is.
Yeah.
Of the DCEU.
Okay, but you still got Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have the Suicide Squad. Yeah, that's true. But if if you're talking about like big screen budget,
and to have genuine emotion in it, that's something that's been sorely lacking in their slate of movies.
Yeah, no, you're right, 100%. Excuse me, y'all. The Suicide Squad is a way better movie. It's much, much better, if you ask me, because I think it's a consistent story. Special effects were better. None of it feels completely generic like this does in some parts. But listen, it looks like I'm harping on this movie, man. And, it's only disappointing in that so much of this is great here. And I will tell you this, that the big saving point of this film is the end, where it ends on an emotional note. And it helps this end on a high point. Mm-hmm. Though I have to question something that happens at the end because
everybody's gonna question that.
I mean, everybody's gonna question it, but I was like, well, there's a simple answer, but
yeah. I mean, I'd say I wanted you and I gotta talk after this.
I know, yeah, because I gotta what y'all say.
Because if you saw the simple answer, it might be what I'm thinking, but I'm still struggling with it.
Oh, I'm sure it's what you're thinking.
I think it was a joke, but I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, but
let's not say.
Yeah, we ain't gonna say nothing.
But yeah, I still a little lost and confused on that part. But it is an emotional note right here. For me, best superhero movie of all time. No, that's a huge claim. Best superhero movie of the DCEU, debatable. It could be. I prefer Suicide Squad. I could see people saying that this is better, but I would say that this does not have the flaws that something like Suicide Squad doesn't have the flaw. Like I said, at least the effects were consistent. I'm baffled. I'm completely baffled how bad some of the effects are in this, man. But you know what? As far as this being in the DCEU, it is very good for the most part. They do a lot of different things that they have not done on the emotional level here, and it's like I said, it's just disappointing that a chunk of this is distracting from all the good stuff in this. But I enjoyed it. I did. Not the best anything by any means. Come on, but a lot of fun.
While not at all a great movie, I did find it very entertaining for the most part, especially I wasn't that crazy about the baby saving scene, but once we get past that, I was surprisingly on board with it and having a good time. It is that third act with the big fights and all. It's almost like, oh man, we had a good thing going, but we have to get back to the superhero nonsense. And there's a bit of burnout with that. And the thing is, for me, this movie benefited from my lower expectations. I know when the Super Bowl commercial came out, everybody was super hyped for it, but I looked at it and I was like, well, I'm not seeing anything to get me excited. So I was, I wasn't like I had low expectations, but they were very tempered. It's an okay movie. It's a mixed bag. Some of it is so fun, and you go like, I can see why people say it's the best, but ultimately it comes down to there's just so many things that are kind of sloppy in it, and that's what bothers you. I probably enjoyed this more than I did the Suicide Squad, but it was tighter, and ultimately I thought, man, I don't know if I'm gonna go high rental with it, but the emotional thing they do at the end brought it back for me. So it's really a matinee.
Yeah, so before I saw this one, this was like one of my most anticipated projects of the year.
I know.
And
this and Black Adam.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to bring up. I was like, this is my Black Adam right here. And man, throughout probably when it hit the second act, I was like, this is an all right film. Look, there's a lot of, I think this is DC's most emotional story. At the same time, it's also DC's funniest story. I'll say this. This is one of DC's best projects that they've had and they put out so far. I mean, the bar's not too goddamn high, but this is definitely one of their best. But I thought it was going to be a way better film than it actually was. So I got to go with a matinee.
The majority of this movie is a lot of fun. And if I had to take anything from this, it's not the superhero stuff that worked for me in here. It's not the cameos and the special effects and the Easter eggs. It really is the heartfelt comedy and emotion that's in here that really works well. And we already have a lot of superhero movies that can't pull that off. And they did it including DC's superhero movies. So for them to be able to pull it off right here like they did is something very special that they did right there. Also, again, really enjoyed seeing the last outing of Ben Affleck Batman. So much stuff that they did good here that outdoes all the bad stuff that I do have to come in and give it a matinee. I don't think it's going to be a disappointment to anybody if you see this in the theater. And that's in that bad part of the movie right there. Well, the effects, they just kind of, man, they played on thick. They did.
Because now you think, like, with this part, if you're deficient in this part, you kind of hide it over a little bit. But they went, no, come on, bring it on.
It's like they just pour it on your head, man. So I can't.
Like, that one, now that one.
Yeah. You just drowning in it by the end, man. Yeah. But that is something that's going to last. But if you can look past that, there's a lot of clever stuff that they do here, and I do appreciate that. And I did have a lot of fun. And if nothing else, man, I was sitting up there almost crying from getting this and how great the beginning was, especially the comedy that they were doing. So, it's not a waste of time at all, man. It's very good. Go see it as a matinee. It's just, they promised you great for about an hour. For about an hour, they promised you great. And then they just, they sweeped your ass. They kicked you, man. They punched you in the stomach.
You having fun? Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Well, the comic book shit has to come too, right? Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. It was almost like the movie came up to you for after an hour and a half and said, hey, you having a good time? Yeah. What'd you do that for?
I was just saying, I did not. How long was the movie? 2 hours?
2 hours and 17 minutes.
I did not feel that runtime, though.
No, I didn't either. No, I did not either.
Didn't feel that runtime?
Oh, my God.